Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 159. So, Black Friday happened. Cyber Monday happened. Last week was a blur of Tiege Hanley promotions, and we crushed it. Do you like that little? Yeah, exactly. We crushed it. We did a great job as a team. This was our most profitable promotion to date, which is very exciting. Because profitability is one of those things where you really need to understand like all of the numbers before just like throwing some like arbitrary like, oh, 50% off or 60% off or free show. Like you've really got to understand what the financial impact of a big promotion is going to have. Like, okay, if everybody buys level 1 and does, 40% off or 50, whatever the percentage off, you have to understand all of the numbers. And then if they only stay for a month or they stay for 3 or that whatever it is, you got to know the numbers. And judging from what we know right now, what we did last year this time, we crushed it. It was a big multiple in terms of success and new subscribers over last year, Black Friday this time. And I really think that one of the main reasons is because our company right now, this year, this Black Friday, this holiday season looks very different than what it did last year at this time. And so we had a lot more like people that were doing a lot more things and just a lot of the gears were turning really well. But that being said, we still learned a lot. We did a few things wrong, and I think at the end of the day, we are really happy with the success that this holiday season brought us. But at the end of the day, we've got some things that next year we want to do differently. One thing that has really sucked is that we have not figured out the gifting program yet for Tiege Hanley. So like if you want to buy somebody a Tiege Hanley system or you want to buy somebody a membership, we don't have that ability right now or yet in order to do that. And that's something that we've been working on and we've known since like last holiday season that we wanted to accomplish. And it's just been we've been in the mud with this. But once again, it's a technology thing, and technology has been where Tiege Hanley has struggled. The good news is that we've been interviewing like crazy and have some really talented people that we're excited may, cross our fingers, join the Tiege Hanley team. We'll know more in another few weeks. Some really like, on paper, you're like, wow, like they want to work with us, but on paper we look pretty good too. And so we'll see. It's been a really great week, and so it was exciting, the buzz, everything that happened. It was amazing. And having this team together with the customer service and the retention specialist and our warehouse, like everything got to operate at like max capacity. And to see everything sort of churning out and cranking was amazing to see. Tiege Hanley AM Moisturizer is now an accredited product on the skincancer.org website, the Skin Cancer Foundation. Something that you guys don't probably know because we don't really talk about it or make it a big deal is that we donate money to the Skin Cancer Foundation. It's something that we're very passionate about at Tiege Hanley because Rob's father had skin cancer, my wife's had skin cancer. I mean, skin cancer is the real deal, and it's out there and it's a big issue. And so it's not something that we talk about or really like, hey, like it's not something we talk about, but it is something that we are very passionate about, helping guys prevent skin cancer. And so we donated this year, I think it was like 10 grand to the Skin Cancer Foundation. And then we had to jump through some other hoops to actually go through like $6,000 worth of additional testing and vetting for our AM moisturizer to be basically qualified and listed on the skincancer.org website as an accredited product that they recommend. So Tiege Hanley AM Moisturizer is now recommended by the Skin Cancer Foundation, which is super cool. We get a seal that we can use and put on our website, and it's just awesome, right? It's a big deal. We worked, more specifically Cindy on the team, crushed it. She's been really heading this up, and we've been working on this for months and months and months, since I believe summertime. And so it's really cool to see it come to fruition. It's amazing to be recommended by them, and it's good for our brand, it's good for you, it's good for your face, and helping you prevent skin cancer. Now, let's get to some of your questions from last week. This question comes from our friend Malcolm Howard. He says, when you filed bankruptcy, was it the fitness company itself that went bankrupt as an entity, or was it you personally? Lastly, how long did it take to get your credit back into shape, and what steps did you take to get there? Realizing that without funding from family, friends, high consistent income, and or crowdsourcing, credit could play a major part in funding your ideas. The answer is absolutely. Without crowdsourcing, without family, without money, or from a consistent job, credit is your best friend. And so credit is something that you really need to take very, very seriously. I did not take it seriously when I was in college, when I got my first credit card. I had no idea. I had no concept of what credit really was. I just knew that somebody wanted to give me, an 18-year-old kid without a job, $300 on a credit card. And so I did, and long story short, that credit card was just a disaster, right? I ended up probably on that $300, I ended up probably spending like $10,000 and gave that to the credit card company after late fees and just it was a disaster. And so keeping your credit in check is very important in order to not only be able to buy things on credit, because one idea is that you want to be able to leverage other people's money in order to make your own money. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people do go out and raise or source funding is so that they can let this other money sort of, help grow the business. With my business for the fitness company that I had that went bankrupt, it was not the entity. It was me personally, because when you first start out any business, for the most part, nobody's going to give a business a line of credit, right? Without any track record, without any history. They want somebody who's on the hook so that you can't just walk away. And so myself and my business partner, Linda, at the time, we were basically co-signers on the loans that we got, on the equipment leases, on everything. And so the business was worthless. It was us. And so when we had to file bankruptcy, she had to file bankruptcy because she was responsible for half of the business debt. I was responsible for the other half. And at the time, I think we had over $500,000 worth of debt, and we each had to file bankruptcy. At that point, I went and saw a bankruptcy attorney. I paid the money. We did an analysis of how much money I was making or bringing in per month. And for me, it was $162. And so bankruptcy was definitely an option. You go through that process. You go in before a judge who basically looks at everything and then either grants or does not grant a bankruptcy. There are different levels of bankruptcy. I know some people have to repay the debt. There's a payment plan. Some people have to repay a portion of the amount. But bankruptcy it should not be your first option. That should be absolutely the last option. You want to make sure that you are keeping your credit and your obligations to repay debt in check. My credit was horrible for a few years. It starts to rebuild once you get a credit card again, because as soon as you file bankruptcy, you legally, at least back in that time, you couldn't file again for 7 years. And so you get credit card offers immediately. And I was very gun shy to take a credit card offer. But at the end of the day, at that point, the reason why I filed bankruptcy was not because I had a spending problem on buying designer glasses. It was because I had a business that didn't work out, and I did everything I could. I was borrowing money off my credit cards. It was a nightmare. And so I got a credit card with a Capital One, gave me a 22% interest credit card or something like that. And it probably wasn't that high. It was up there. And I opened it and I got it. And that was my way to start, buy something with that credit card and I'd pay it off. Buy something else, pay it off. And that was how I started to rebuild my credit. And after a few years, it got back to, 700-800. And that's good. So you want to make sure that you do have credit or people are willing to lend you money, because that also affects your credit score. Next question. My buddy Gustavo Ortiz, Gustavo and I, what's up Gustavo? He and I go way back. He's been a follower of mine forever, and I believe Gustavo's down in Mexico. Thanks for all your support, Gustavo. You've been awesome. Now, let's get to his question. He says, Aaron, my brother and I are starting a business that will dominate the outerwear market. However, we still find ourselves hesitating when making decisions because they're scary and we fear that we might fail. I tell my brother we must not be scared and do what has to be done to reach our goals. Do you have any recommendation to beat the fear and make the right calls, regardless of how scary they may be. Oh, this is a great question because, you know, it is so scary. God, it's so scary, especially when you haven't like failed big before, to take a chance and to really like go for something. I always joke with people that once you fail a few times, you kind of like develop like a callus to it, right? Like emotionally, like if I fail, like it's okay because, you know, I know what it feels like. I've done it before, and honestly, it's better, in my opinion, to try something, to not have regret, and to fail fast and fail hard and move on and hopefully learn lessons in the process. But I know that a lot of people are not in that place where emotionally they're ready to take that leap because of the potential fall. You know, my only advice is, you know, you got one shot at this life, right? That is sort of something that I've come to realize with the older that I get, the more I see, the more I experience, I realize that life is very short. And the older I get now, it's like, it's even more, you know, it's present because I'm seeing and dealing, I've dealt with death in the past like year from people that I love that are very young. And so, you know, for me, it's funny because I have a house that's across from a graveyard, right? And I know a lot of people would be like, that's weird and that's kind of like strange. But I think of it like this. The graveyard for me is a reminder. As long as I'm on this side, I've got a chance and I've got an opportunity to do something amazing. And so for me, it's an inspiration because I am so scared that I'm going to leave money on the table in a figurative way, not literally like leaving money on the table, but like I'm playing, like, I fear not doing something amazing and having regrets. I don't want to be an old man and regret that I didn't try X, didn't try Y, and I think in my head it would have been, it could have been. Here's the thing, what's the worst thing? Literally, what is the worst thing that can happen from you going after it, your brother going after it and trying? Right? Putting every ounce of energy into it smartly though, because you don't want to do anything foolish. You don't want to run in like, you know, horns down, just like blazing and like a bull in a china shop and not think through your decisions, not be smart financially, you know, not overextend yourself too early. You got to do things in a methodical manner and do them intelligently. But if you plan it, if you try it, if it doesn't work out, what's the worst thing that happens? It didn't work out. And then I'll tell you what, from experience, from somebody who has failed big time, multiple times, you get better, you get smarter, you get wiser, and the next time is a little better. And the time after that, a little better. And eventually, you'll get it, right? But it's that first step that's absolutely the hardest. And I know that it's hard. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in the goal, you believe in the vision, you believe in what you're doing, you can't not do it. Because, you know, living a life with regret, I think, would be a lot better than being bummed out because you lost some money and you had to start over, honestly. Because as long as you're on this side of the graveyard, you still got opportunities to do something amazing. But great question, and good luck, Gustavo. I know you're going to do great. Sid Chihuahua, sorry if I butchered your name, my brother. He says, yo, Alpha. Been following the vlog since day one. Thank you, sir. 159 in. We're still going super strong. As a small boots shoe business owner trying to expand to social media marketing, I wanted to know if you could compare Facebook ads versus YouTube ads versus Instagram ads and Tiege Hanley's experience with running social media ad campaigns of these different platforms and which is better. Thanks. Looking forward to meeting you at Menfluential 2019. Yo, that reminds me. Have you gotten your tickets, Menfluential 2019? Tiege is going to be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. If you haven't, down below, link menfluentialconference.com. It's going to be here in literally like 3 months. And it is going to be a life-changing event. Day one is all about entrepreneurship. And something that I just have found out that he's actually in is my mentor is coming to speak. And I'm going to not get choked up and cry about it now. I'll wait till the conference. But my wrestling coach from high school, I'm not going to talk about that because I will get choked up and cry. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to meet everybody and to hang out and just be inspired, because that's the thing. At the end of the event, you're going to leave there so freaking fired up. You're going to meet the right people. And even if you don't have a business, day 2 is about personal development. It's just an amazing opportunity to hang out with a bunch of great guys. So link below, grab your tickets because we only have about 100 left. We keep it small, like 450, and we do also have streaming available. So for 20 bucks, if you want to live stream the whole event, we've also got that to be purchased down below. What the heck was your question? Shoes, ads, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Yes, you should advertise. And you got to test things. You got to figure out what is right for you. The one thing that I was talking to my partner in Menfluential Media today, Terry, about, one of the big upsides to using YouTube as an advertising platform and paying an influencer to talk or promote your product is the long tail and the drag of that ad, right? So say it cost you $5,000 to get whoever to talk about your product, talk about your shoes, whatever it is, right? They put that video up. You're going to see an instant spike in traffic and all that. But how long is that video going to be out there and potentially getting you traffic, sales, and all that good stuff? You also can share that video. So that's something that you can throw on your website or embed it or whatever. And that's long-term value. But take that $5,000 again, right? Say you spend it on Instagram. What happens? Somebody posts something and it's gone. You're either going to get a pop of sales, you're going to make your money, you're going to do whatever, but then it's gone. Poof, it vanishes. Like a fart in the wind, my friend. Facebook, same thing. Once the ad is spent, it's done, right? It's gone. I know that Facebook was huge. A lot of people were really, going and doubling down on Facebook advertising because of, honestly, because of the way that you can really, get into the granular details in terms of what people are, who your audience is, who you're advertising to and all that. But in my experience and the experience of other people that I've talked to, I was just talking to my buddy Philip from Spreza Box. He was talking about Facebook not being as effective as it used to be. It used to be better. And Facebook, I think, is having a problem. One of the reasons why I never personally boost anything on Facebook, because I think all of their numbers are BS. I don't believe anything that they say. I don't believe them, honestly. Google, I believe. Instagram, I believe them, but it's tough to convert there. You've got to, you really have to have a strong message. The one thing and the place that I would tell you to spend your money is retargeting with Google Ads. That is tried and true, the first and only advertising dollar you should be spending right now, if you are doing this, is the retargeting or the remarketing to people that have visited your website, they're interested, and then for whatever reason they bounce without buying. You can go after them for 30 days with different offers and all that. That is the most valuable, effective advertising you can do. Now, how are you going to get people to your or how are you going to get customers to your website? That's the whole marketing question. YouTube. Using influencers to talk about your shoes is definitely, in my opinion, obviously, and my experience, it's the most effective bang for your marketing buck. But you really got to figure out what influencer is going to be right for you and your audience, because just going after somebody who's big, who has a large audience, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be effective for you or your brand. And so you got to make sure that you're spending smart money, as I say. Gentlemen, that's it. We only got to a few questions, but I wanted to dive a little deeper into them. But next time, I want to do some more. Next vlog, I want to talk a little bit more about your business questions. Guys, if you've got a business question down below, please start it with business question and your question. Next week, I'll make sure to hit at least 3, possibly 4, could be 5. Depends if I haven't had a lot of caffeine and I'm talking anyway. See, I'm all crazy now. But bottom line, guys, thank you so much for helping us crush it and making this promotion the best that we've ever done. Guys, we love you more than our double monk strap shoes, and I'll see you next week.